work with athletes that need some level of care, or school nurses and the way they're doing things. Why is it that the school nurse doesn't have to teach, but they want the athletic trainer who's going to come in and be one person for 1,000 kids? They think that rascal needs to be teaching 6 hours a day and then going out and working with the athletic department until 10 o'clock at night. Someone needs to take ownership into this besides clinics and hospitals, because the clinics and hospitals are already starting to get out of it. If you look at what happened in Fort Smith, it was the best thing in the world when the clinics dropped athletic training in Fort Smith. When athletic trainers went back to the athletic director in Fort Smith, and they'd been getting it free since 1983, starting with me. It would have been kind of embarrassing for the superintendent to say, "Oh, we got it free for 25 years. Now let's punt. We don't need it anymore." The superintendent of Fort Smith stepped up and said, "You're right. We need to incorporate this into our staff," and he did that. And they've got 2 excellent athletic trainers now in Fort Smith that are strictly athletic trainers, that they don't have to go out and do anything other except take care of the student athletes. So I think that's where we need to go. We need to go with secondary schools. We need to think outside the box. How can we make ourselves valuable to these people? And most of the time we assume everybody knows what we're about when we walk on campus, but they don't. They don't have a clue. Today, after almost 30 years in school, I still introduce myself as an athletic trainer. I'm often asked, "Are you the first aid person? Are you the athletic therapist? Are you the whatever?" And I said, "Well, I'm all that and above. I'm your athletic trainer." So I don't think the name's negative. I think we just have to sell what we do and show the compassion that we're about and take care of kids and let the parents know what we're about. And then 25 years later, it's a whole lot better than it was when I was doing all the out-of-town games and the PT doing the hometown games, because he didn't want to go out of town. When I first worked at Southside, I didn't even know their colors were blue and white. I thought I never saw nothing but their road uniforms, because I was on the road with them all the time.
Can you tell us a funny story or a funny memory with one of the 10 original athletic trainers?
Well, I think we're all pretty serious about that stuff. I don't want to name any names. We were invaded one time by an educator wanting to see what these rascals were putting together in Little Rock, these athletic trainers, and this individual had co-credentials. He was credentialed as an athletic trainer, but you could tell when he came to the meeting that it was more about trying to see what was going on by these athletic trainers. And at that time, I had the opportunity to dip a little Copenhagen and was quite proud that I could sit there and spit in a cup. And this professor would sit down next to me, and during a break, I thought it'd be funny if I offered him a dip to see what he'd do, so I did, and he got offended and left and went back to Conway. And it was pretty hilarious, I thought. No one else may have, but I thought it was funny.
What is some advice or encouragement that you can give to the young professionals coming up into the profession?
Just remember what you're about. So many times we get to thinking we're more than we're a athletic trainer or someone real important. We're care providers. We're humble little people behind the scenes. They should never even know what we're about until we're needed. But a lot of times we're a little bit arrogant and we think we're something that we're not. But as long as you remember why you got into the profession to begin with, not for the roar of the crowd, but to take care of the kids and the young athletes that are participating in sports, and look at what you provide for them from care standards, you'll have fun with the profession I've been doing it, and the high school kids, and it's great. But I try to put the kids first. I try to relate with the kids, and I try to understand where I I was when I was 17 or 16 and how they are and try to fit that. I'm not there for discipline. I'm there to have fun with them and help them out. And as long as we